University Challenge. Asking the questions, Amol Rajan.
Hello and welcome to University Challenge. Tonight is the second of the round one repechage matches. We're welcoming back two teams who lost their opening games but still managed to score enough points to suggest they might have fared differently with a luckier first round draw. Whoever wins tonight will take the final place in round two of the competition, while the losers this time will leave for good. Oxford Brookes' first match this year was a fast-paced and high-scoring affair against Birkbeck University, in which both teams, remarkably, answered more than 80% of their bonus questions correctly. The lead changed hands several times, but at the gong, Oxford Brookes finished on 205 points to Birkbeck's 220. It would be quicker to list what Brookes didn't know in that match, but they were particularly impressive on flags, the Biafran War, and winners of the Fields Medal in mathematics. Let's meet them for the second time.
Hello, I'm David Caldecott from Henley-on-Thames and I'm studying biology.
Hi, I'm Lara Gardner. I'm from Ledbury in Herefordshire and I'm studying human biosciences.
And their captain?
Hi, I'm John Manton. I'm from Gortonhu in County Tipperary, Ireland, and I'm reading for a Masters in Fine Art.
Hello, I'm James Broadbent. I'm from near Wallingford in South Oxfordshire, and I'm studying international relations and politics.
The team from the Open University had the misfortune in their first round match to come up against Hertford College Oxford, who even by this programme standards were extremely quick on the buzzer. They didn't get much of a look in until the music round, but from that point on they scored steadily, helped by their knowledge of female punk musicians, ancient Egypt and the screenwriter J. Preston Allen. A last-gasp starter on Romanche took them to a final score of 155 and secured their place in these playoffs. Let's meet them again.
Hi, I'm Ellie Romans. I live in Henley-on-Thames and I'm studying nursing.
Hi, I'm Mike Holt from Wilmsley in Cheshire and I'm studying towards an open degree.
And their captain?
Hello, I'm Anne Gavigan from London and I'm studying art and architectural history.
Hiya, I'm James. I'm originally from Fraserburgh in Aberdeenshire and I'm studying English literature.
Good to see all of you again. In case you've forgotten, I'll remind you that starter questions are open to all players, but must be answered on the buzzer without conferring. Correct answers are worth 10 points and a set of 3 bonus questions to be tackled as a team. Fingers on buzzers then. Here is your first starter for 10. In film and theatre, what 3-word hyphenated French term refers to the physical and visual content of a scene?
Open Davidson.
Mise en scène.
Is correct. Well done. For your bonus questions then open, you need to identify a pair of contiguous US states from the description given. In each case, the final 2 letters of the first state are the initial 2 letters of the second state. For example, Ohio and Iowa. First, the state with the highest capital city of any in the US and the state to its north, home to Mount Elbert, the highest summit of the Rocky Mountains.
So it's Colorado and Idaho?
Colorado is definitely going to be one of them.
Is it Dio?
Yeah, Colorado, so let's start with Dio.
Dio, state starts with Dio.
Nobody, no, you've got to think again. Here's the one that ends in CO then.
Oh, CO. New Mexico and Colorado.
Yes, it's correct. Well done. Second, a state bounded to the east by the Missouri River, which is the only state with a unicameral legislature, and the state to its south, whose capital was the focus of the landmark civil rights case Brown versus the Board of Education, which integrated public schools.
Nebraska and Kansas.
Correct. Finally, the 2 contiguous states whose largest cities are Portland and Manchester, respectively.
No, it's Maine and New Hampshire. Yeah. Maine and New Hampshire.
Correct. I'll start a question now. A double layout with a half-twist floor exercise and a double-twisting, double-tucked salto, balance beam dismount, are 2 elements in the Women's Artistic Gymnastics Code of Points that have been named after which US gymnast? She was due to be the first woman to perform a Yurchenko double pike vault at an Olympic Games before she withdrew early.
Open Gavigan.
Biles?
It is Simone Biles. It is Simone Biles, yeah. She withdrew early from Tokyo. Your bonuses then are 3 questions on science and technology in 1823. In 1823, when still early in his career, which British mathematician obtained support for the design of the difference engine number 1?
Charles Babbage.
Correct. In a doctoral thesis of 1823, which Bohemian physiologist made an early classification of fingerprint types? He later discovered the cells in the cortex of the cerebellum of the brain that bear his name.
Anybody? I feel like it's lost something, but yeah. Lost something. Lascelles.
No, it's Purkinje. In 1823, which Scottish chemist obtained a patent for his method of producing waterproof material by sealing a layer of rubber between layers of cloth?
No, last northeast.
1823. It's Burberry's later, so. Oh, it's Macintosh.
Yes, yeah.
Macintosh.
It is Charles Mackintosh, yes. Got to start the question now. Dombey and Son by Charles Dickens and An Unofficial Rose by Iris Murdoch both begin with the death of a character with what first name? In Hardy's Far From the Madding Crowd, a character with this name is jilted at the altar by Sergeant Troy when she mistakenly goes to the wrong church. And it was also the given name of John Keats, his fiancée.
Open Gavigan.
Fanny?
It is Fanny, yes. Well done. Your bonuses then open are on self-reflexive or metafictional films, that is, those that openly draw attention to their own fictional status. Name each film from the description. First, a 2002 film by Charlie Kaufman and Spike Jonze. It concerns Kaufman's own struggle to write a screenplay based on Susan Orlean's 1998 book, The Orchid Thief, and stars Nicolas Cage as both Kaufman...
Adaptation.
Adaptation is correct. Secondly, a 1963 film by Federico Fellini. The plot centres on the fictional director Guido Anselmi, who is struggling to write a...
8.5.
Correct. Finally, a 1950 film by Billy Wilder and Charles Brackett. William Holden is a struggling young screenwriter hired to work...
Sunset Boulevard.
Is correct. Well done. Now we'll start the question. It's a picture round. For your picture starter, you're going to see a symbol. For 10 points, I need its specific name.
Oxford Brookes Broadbent.
I need an immediate answer.
The
sorry.
Orthodox cross.
No.
Open Gavigan.
Coptic cross?
No, it's not. It's the Cross of Lorraine. Another starter question then. We'll take your picture bonuses when you get a starter right. In a satirical prose ode of 1913, what short word does Jack London define as a two-legged animal with a backbone made of jelly and glue who sells his birthright, his country, his wife, his children and his fellow men for an unfulfilled promise from his employer? This specific derogatory sense of the word is attested from the late 18th century. Since the mid-13th, it is also denoted a disease of the skin and, by extension, a crust formed over a sore or wound.
Openholt.
It is a scab, yeah. Here's your picture bonuses then. For your picture starter, you saw the Cross of Lorraine, historically associated with the French region of Lorraine. For your picture bonuses, you will see 3 more variant crosses associated with regions or peoples of Europe. 5 points for each you can name. First?
Celtic? Is this a Celtic cross?
Yeah, Celtic
Okay.
cross.
Celtic.
Correct. Second?
Is this Maltese?
Yeah, I think it's Maltese. Yeah.
Maltese?
No, that's the Occitan cross.
Yeah.
And finally?
That's Maltese.
Maltese.
Yeah.
That is the
Maltese, yeah.
cross. Yes, well done. Plenty of time, Oxford Brookes, so we can get going with this one. Run jointly by the Secret Intelligence Service and the Special Operations Executive, the Shetland Bus was a clandestine operation in World War II involving initially a fleet of small fishing boats that ferried resistance agents and equipment between Shetland...
Open Romans.
Norway?
Norway is correct, yes. Your bonuses open are questions on the author and environmental campaigner Arundhati Roy. Give the 2 words that complete the title of Arundhati Roy's second novel, published 20 years after her debut novel, The God of Small Things. The Ministry of...
Utmost happiness.
Nominate Davidson.
Utmost happiness.
Correct. Secondly, in 1998, Roy published an essay criticising the Indian government for conducting a series of 5 nuclear weapon tests in which large state of northwestern India?
Uttar Pradesh? I don't know.
Uttar Pradesh.
Yeah.
Uttar Pradesh?
Bad luck, it's Rajasthan. Finally, a 2020 collection of political essays by Roy is named Azadi, meaning freedom in Urdu, taken from the chant of protesters against the Indian government in which disputed region?
Kashmir?
Yeah.
Kashmir?
Kashmir is correct. Let's start a question now. Indicating belligerent nationalism, what term is believed to have originated in a popular song during the Russo-Turkish War of 1877 to 78, when Disraeli...
Oxford Brookes Broadbent.
Jingoism.
Jingoism is correct, yes. Well done. Your bonuses then, Oxford Brookes, are questions on ancient Rome. Firstly, and this is a quote, they are to evacuate the whole of Sicily and all the islands lying between Italy and Sicily. These words of the historian Polybius concern a peace treaty of the mid-3rd century BC. To which defeated power do they refer?
Could it be Carthage?
Carthage?
Carthage.
Correct. What was the byname of the Roman general Quintus Fabius Maximus, whose strategy of slow attrition during the Second Punic War allowed Rome to recover strength? You may answer in Latin or English.
I don't know.
I'm lost on this one.
Do you know?
Pass.
The Delayer. If we win one more battle against the Romans, we shall be completely ruined. The Greek author Plutarch attributes these words to which king of Epirus in the early 3rd century BC?
Pass.
It's Pyrrhus, as in Pyrrhic victory. Now, let's start the question now. What is the common name of Phascolarctos cinereus, a marsupial listed as endangered in Queensland and New South Wales in 2022 because of a decline in numbers partly caused by habitat loss, for example, of sufficient eucalyptus trees?
Open, Davidson.
Koala bear.
It is a koala bear, yeah. Your bonus questions open are on philosophy. This is a quote. The highest endeavour of the mind and the highest virtue is to understand things by the third kind of knowledge. This statement is proposition 25 of the Ethics of which 17th century philosopher?
Rousseau? Did Rousseau do that? Spinoza's, yeah. It's Spinoza.
It is Baruch Spinoza. In proposition 40, Spinoza uses what single-word term to describe this third kind of knowledge? A commentary states that this knowledge takes what is known by reason and grasps it in a single perspicacious act of the mind.
Implicit. Yeah. Implicit. Yeah.
Nominate Ellie.
Implicit.
No, it's intuition. The larger part of Spinoza's Ethics is written as a geometric proof in the style of the Elements of which Alexandrian Greek?
Aristotle.
Nominate Davidson.
Aristotle.
No, it's Euclid. Let's start a question. Plenty of time, Oxford Brookes. In an essay of 1980, Jorge Luis Borges proposes that the start of the Romantic movement can be traced to 1704 and the first European translation by Antoine Gollon of which work, stating that its Orientalism was bedazzling to men who took snuff and composed tragedies in 5 acts.
Open, Romans.
The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam.
No. No, I'll tell you. It's 1001 Nights. Now let's start a question. Name 2020's Woman of the Year by the music magazine Billboard. Belcalis Almanzar is the birth...
Open, Gavigan.
Cardi B.
I can see you listen to her. My goodness. Your bonuses then open are questions on paintings completed in 1822. Measuring approximately 2.5 by 1.5 metres, The Destruction of Pompeii and Herculaneum is an 1822 work by which English artist? A vivid red Vesuvius dominates the composition, with fleeing survivors shown as small figures in the foreground.
Turner, maybe?
I was thinking Constable. Turner?
Turner's
I think Constable might
One or
have...
the other.
One or the other, but if you want to try it.
Constable?
No, it's Martin, John Martin. Woman with a Gambling Mania and Portrait of a Kleptomaniac are 1822 portraits by which French Romantic artist? They are part of a series of studies of psychiatric patients illustrating different forms of mental illness.
It's just Gustave Courbet.
If you want to try that.
Courbet?
No, it's Chérico. Finally, shown at the Paris Salon of 1822, The Bark of Dante, or Dante and Virgil in Hell, was the first major work by which French Romantic painter?
We'll try Courbet.
Yeah.
Courbet?
No, it's Delacroix. Music round now. For your music starter, you're going to hear a piece of popular music. For 10 points, name the artist.
Oxford Brookes Broadbent.
Donna Summer.
It is Donna Summer, yeah, exactly. That was, of course, Donna Summer with her disco hit I Feel Love, which was produced by Giorgio Moroder and features the Mini Moog synthesizer developed by the engineer Robert Moog and launched in 1970. Your bonuses are 3 further pieces that feature the Mini Moog. In each case, I want the name of the band performing. First...
Oh, this is Parliament.
Parliament?
Flashlight. Yeah.
Go for it.
Parliament.
It is Parliament, yes. Secondly...
Lip sync.
Lip sync.
Lip
yeah.
sync.
Funky Town.
Lip sync.
It is Lip Sync. And finally...
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
Is correct. Well done. Another starter question now. Which island was home to the breakaway Ezo Republic, established following the Boshin War and the overthrow of the Japanese shogunate? Its capital was at Hakodate, currently the 3rd biggest city on the island after Sapporo and Asahikawa.
Oxford Brookes Broadbent.
Hokkaido.
Correct. Your bonuses then, Oxford Brookes, are on the history of telecommunications. In each case, give the decade in which the following occurred. First, the invention and patenting of the telephone by Alexander Graham Bell.
It used to be the 1800s.
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's
I have a
like-
feeling
it's
it could be
late
1870s.
1880s?
Yeah, I think so. Should we go for
70s
that?
or 80s?
1880?
1880s.
It's 1870s. Bad luck. Secondly, Marconi's first experiments with radio transmission and the invention of the cathode ray oscilloscope by K.F. Braun.
1910s.
Go for that. Go on.
It was early on, I think. Yeah.
1910s.
1890s. Finally, the establishment of public radio broadcasting companies in Britain and the USA, and the first demonstration of television by John Logie Baird.
Or this, yeah, 1920s, yeah.
1920s.
It is 1920s. Well done. Got to start the question now. What two-word English title links a 2021 Norwegian horror film by Eskil Vogt about young children with supernatural powers and a 1961 British horror film?
Open, Davidson.
The Innocents.
It is The Innocents, yes. Your bonuses then, Open, are on novels set in universities. First, Hangs a Man is a 1951 novel by which US author? Referring to the author's time at the University of Rochester and Bennington College, her biographer described it as a weird, rich brew of autobiography and fantasy.
Donna Tartt went to Bennington, but I don't know if she... Donna Tartt?
Shirley Jackson. What is the first book in David Lodge's Campus Trilogy? It tells the story of Philip Swallow, academic at the fictional British University of Ramage, and Maurice Zapp, professor at Plotinus University in the US state of Euphoria.
Do you know any?
Nothing.
Okay. Pass.
Changing Places, 1975. Who is the author of Pnin, a novel published in 1957 about a Russian college professor and based on the writer's own experience in...
Nominate Davidson?
Nabokov.
It was Nabokov, yes. Well done. Let's start the question now. In electronics, what term denotes the controlled addition of impurities such as boron or phosphorus?
Open, Holt.
Doping.
Doping is correct, yeah. Your bonuses then, Open, are 3 questions on non-alcoholic components of cocktails. First of all, considered a relative of the martini, the Gibson contains gin and dry vermouth and is garnished with what vegetable in place of an olive?
Celery? Or, no, was it an onion?
I don't know at all.
Onion or celery?
Oh, yeah. Celery.
Okay, maybe an onion, 'cause maybe like a...
Onion.
Yes, specifically a pickled onion. Traditionally made with almonds, sugar and orange flower water, what syrup is an important ingredient in a Mai Tai?
Is it orgeat?
Yeah, nominate Holt.
Is it orgeat?
Yes, it is. Finally, traditionally made from pomegranate, what syrup is used in the tequila sunrise? And
Grenadine?
It is grenadine, yeah. Parties around your house must be a lot of fun. Now let's start a question now. Which Russian writer first gained prominence for the book of poems My Sister, Life, and was later forced by Soviet authorities to decline the 1958...
Oxford Brookes Manton.
Brodsky.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points.
Open, Davidson.
Pasternak.
It was Boris Pasternak, yes. Your bonuses then, Open, are 3 questions linked by a phrase. Which magical realist novel of 1982 chronicles the lives of 4 generations of the Trueba family, including matriarch Clara, who has clairvoyant and telekinetic
Nominate
powers?
Davidson.
The House of the Spirits.
It is The House of the Spirits. Second, usually regarded as forming a loose rural trilogy with Blood Wedding and Yerma, The House of Bernarda Alba is a play of 1945 by which Spanish writer?
Nominate Davidson.
Lorca.
Correct. Finally, from 2017, the Spanish television series La Casa de Papel, literally The House of Paper, has been distributed worldwide by Netflix under what two...
Money Heist.
It is Money Heist, yes. Now let's start a question now. In 1947, performances by 8 theatre troupes who arrived uninvited to an official invitation-only international festival saw the start of which performing arts festival that takes place every August?
Oxford Brookes Manton.
Edinburgh Festival.
Yes, the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, I can accept that. Your bonuses, Oxford Brookes, are 3 questions on digestive enzymes. Amylase is an enzyme that helps to break down starches to simple sugars. It's produced by the salivary glands in the mouth. And which other organ of the digestive system?
Pancreas.
Correct. The pancreas also produces the enzymes trypsin and chymotrypsin, part of which large family of enzymes used to break down proteins.
Proteases.
Proteases.
Correct. Which protease is produced in the stomach, forming a major component of the gastric juices?
Amylo. Pectin.
No.
I'm going to kick myself, I don't know.
Pass.
Pepsin. Now let's start the question, and it's a picture round. For your picture starter, you'll see a painting. For 10 points, name the artist.
Open, Davidson.
Modigliani.
It is Modigliani, yes, well done. Well, that was a painting by Amedeo Modigliani from 1919 depicting a woman holding a fan. And your bonuses will be 3 further paintings of women with fans. Give the name of the artist in each case. First?
Do we want to say Velasquez?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Velasquez.
Velasquez?
Yes. Secondly?
No idea.
Sergeant. maybe?
Yeah, Sergeant. Sergeant.
No, it's Ingres. Finally?
This looks like Klimt, maybe? Yeah, Klimt?
That is Klimt. Yes, well done. Another start of question. Most likely derived from an Igbo phrase meaning my people or my home. Bim and Bimshire are local nicknames for which Caribbean island about 100 miles east of St. Lucia and St. Vincent?
Oxford Brookes Broadbent.
Barbados.
It is Barbados, yes. 3 bonus questions then about female singers and their alter egos. The alter ego Roman Zolanski collaborated with Eminem's Slim Shady on the second track of Pink Friday, the debut album of which rapper?
Nicki Minaj. So go.
Nominate Gardner.
Nicki Minaj.
It was Nicki Minaj. Next, in 2010, which New York experimental performance artist released the album Homeland with a cover portrait of herself as the male alter ego Fenway Bergamot?
Could be Laurie Anderson.
Oh, it could be. Sounds like the sort of thing she
Go
did.
on.
Laurie Anderson.
Correct. Featuring the hits Halo and Single Ladies, Beyoncé's third studio album had the name of which alter ego in its title?
Oh God. I know. Yeah, it's I Am something. I've forgotten what it is. Oh my God. I don't remember.
It's not just Bay, is it?
No.
Pass.
It's I Am Sasha Fierce. Another starter question. The British artists Barbara Hepworth and Henry Moore both provided sculptures to the United Nations to serve as memorials to which UN Secretary-General and Nobel Peace Prize winner killed...
Open Davidson.
Dag Hammarskjöld.
That's absolutely right, yeah. Killed in a plane crash in 1961. Your bonuses open are on plays that feature unseen characters. The title character in which Mike Leigh play of 1977 is neither heard nor seen...
Abigail's Party?
Correct. The lover of Natasha, Mikhail Protopopov, is an offstage character in which 1901 play by Chekhov?
Three Sisters.
Correct. And finally, give the name of either one of the 2 main characters who await the arrival of the unseen Godot in Samuel Beckett's 1952 play.
Estragon.
Yeah, Estragon or Vladimir is correct. Another starter question. The most common form of which polymer is formed by a condensation reaction between the diamine HMD and adipic acid. Discovered by Wallace Carruthers in the 1930s, it is best known for its use in textiles and clothing.
Oxford Brookes Gardner.
Nylon.
It is nylon. Well done. Your bonuses, Oxford Brookes, are 3 questions on US winners of the Nobel Peace Prize. First, which president won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1906 for his part in ending the Russo-Japanese War? He had earlier served in the Spanish-American War as the leader of a volunteer...
Theodore Roosevelt.
Correct. Who won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1912 for his work in international arbitration? He had been Secretary of State for War under President McKinley and was involved in the administration of Cuba and the Philippines.
Do you know?
Oh, this will be one of the Rough Riders, but his name escapes me.
Pass.
It's Root. Which vice president shared the Nobel Peace Prize with Austin Chamberlain in 1925? A veteran of the First World War, he gave his name to a post-war plan for German reparation.
Oh, this will be...
Oh.
I want to say Marshall Plan, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, it sounds. That sounds
No,
like.
because 25.
Um.
Marshall.
No, it's Charles Dawes. Just under 5 minutes to go. Everybody's protest novel, Journey to Atlanta and Stranger in the Village, are essays by which US author who published them in 1955 in the collection Notes of a Native Son?
Open Gaffigan.
Right.
No.
Oxford Brookes Broadbent.
William S. Burroughs.
No, it's James Baldwin. Another starter question now. Having unusually large ears that dissipate desert heat, the fennec fox is the national animal of which country?
Oxford Brookes Broadbent.
Algeria.
Algeria is correct, yes. Your bonuses then, Oxford Brookes, are on regional capitals of Italy. Which point northwest of Brindisi is the capital of the region of Puglia or Apulia?
That's down south.
It's not Rimini, is it?
There's no point. There's no harm in trying.
Nominate Broadbent.
Rimini.
It's Bari. Next, which port between Rimini and Pescara is the capital of Marche?
Ancona.
It is Ancona. Finally, which major city is the capital of Campania?
Naples.
Correct. Let's start a question. In 1961, which Mediterranean city became the first to host the Eurovision Song Contest twice? On both occasions, the venue was the original Palais de Festival et de Congrès, which was built for the city's film festival.
Oxford Brookes Broadbent.
Cannes.
It is Cannes. Your bonuses are on scientific concepts typically represented by a lowercase Greek letter sigma. Give each term from the definition. In engineering, the force acting per unit area across a surface of a body. Specific types include shear, tensile and compressive.
Shear.
Tensile strength.
Surface tension.
Surface tension.
Stress. A material property with the SI unit Siemens per metre. It may be expressed as the ratio of current density to electric field.
Is that conductivity? Oh, God. That's conductivity, isn't it?
Conductivity.
Correct. In statistics, a measure of the variability or dispersion of a set of numerical values about their arithmetic mean, specifically defined as the positive square root of the set's variance.
Standard deviation.
Oh, yes, it is.
Standard deviation.
Is correct. Another starter question. Which ancient Greek city southeast of Naples was home to the philosophers Parmenides and Zeno? The latter credited with a set of paradoxes that concern...
Open romance.
Syracuse.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. Paradoxes that concern human perception of motion. Have a go? No, I'll tell you, it's Elia. Now, let's start the question. In 2022, the artificial intelligence group DeepMind deciphered the 3D structures of around 200 million of what general class of biomolecules?
Answer Brookes Manton.
Proteins.
Correct. Your bonuses then are 3 questions on aliases in Shakespeare's plays. In King Lear, what common Latin given name does the Earl of Kent adopt when he re-enters the king's service, disguised as a peasant? It's also the praenomen of Shakespeare's Coriolanus.
I don't know.
I'm lost.
Try it.
Gaius.
No, I can't accept that, because in Shakespeare's plays, the name is specifically Caius. Next, in Cymbeline, the banished Lord Belarius lives in a remote cave under what name, having kidnapped Cymbeline's sons and raised them there as his own? In Malory's Morte d'Arthur, a character with the same name is described as a great clerk of necromancy.
Merlin?
Merlin?
some reason.
Merlin? No.
I wouldn't say Caliban for some reason.
No, Caliban's
Caliban's
Tempest. No, not Merlin.
Well, I'm going to go with it if we're going
Go
to
on.
else. Merlin.
That is Morgan. Finally, in As You Like It, what name does Rosalind choose for her male disguise after Jove's own page, the legendary son of Tros, who for his beauty was abducted by Zeus in the form of an eagle?
Orlando?
Orlando.
No, it's Ganymede.
Oh.
Let's start the question now. What part of a specific garden plant links the first line of a Carpe Diem poem by Robert Herrick with the central motif of the 1941 film Citizen Kane?
Open Gavigan.
Rosebud.
It is Rosebud. Your bonuses then are 3 questions on events of 1522. After a successful Ottoman siege in 1522, the Knights of St. John were ejected from which Aegean island, the largest of the Dodecanese?
Nominate Ellie.
Rhodes.
Correct. In 1522, Gil Gonzalez Davila sailed from Panama and explored the Pacific coast of which present-day country, later reaching Lake Nicaragua?
Nicaragua.
No, it's Costa Rica. And that is our Oxford Brookes have 155 and Open University have 255. Guys, bad luck. Well played. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah. I tell you what, there were about 15 starter questions which you were just ever so slightly slow on, and it's such a shame because things could be very different. And also, if you listen to slightly more Beyoncé, maybe before we come back, but you were absolutely magnificent performance. Have you had a good time? You enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Well, we have really, really enjoyed having you. And 155, especially against that team, is an amazing performance. But Open, my goodness, anything over 250 is stellar. That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really happy?
You say so?
Yeah, sure.
You feeling confident about the next round?
No.
You never do, and that's why this game is so much fun. I hope you can join us next time for the first game in the second round of the competition. But until then, it's goodbye from Oxford Brookes.
Goodbye.
Bye.
It's goodbye from the Open University.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.